Welcome. You have reached Imperial Reviews, and today's review is 1992 film starring Tyrese Gibson. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's get into it. So this movie, first off, R.I.P. to Ray Liotta. We all might have thought that Cocaine Bear was his actual last film, but this movie has been sitting on the shelf for like 2 years since like 2022. Finally, between Death Row Films and Lionsgate stepped in and they got a release. So let's go over the cast. You got Tyrese Gibson plays as Mercer Bay, Ray Liotta plays as Law, Scott Eastwood plays as Riggin, Dylan Arnold plays as Dennis, Christopher Emmanuel plays as Antoine Bay, Oleg Takaraw plays as Tyus, Ori Pfeiffer plays as Murphy, and Ole Bennett plays as Copeland. So the setting of this movie, so basically, let's just, the setting of this movie is 1992, around the time of the riots that took place, and with the verdict of the Rodney King. So you got Mercer, who has a strained relationship with his son, and he's trying to build a relationship. The son lives with him, and the son kind of got some lack of respect there, but Mercer's trying. So everybody in the city of LA is waiting for the verdict to come through, and Mercer tells his son he doesn't want him out getting in no mess and to come right home from school. Mercer goes off to work. Now, at his job, the verdict came in and the riot started. And so the job pretty much stated, hey, we're sending everybody home so you could be home safe with your family. Mercer lives in the hood, so he figured it was going to be chaos in his hood. He didn't want to be there during that time with his son. So he asked like his supervisor pretty much, hey, can I stay here with you? I'm going to bring my son here. It's more safer here. And so that's his storyline. Meanwhile, across town, you have Law, Reagan, Dennis, Tyus, Murphy, and Copeland. Everybody's plotting to get this platinum so they can become rich. And the platinum is pretty much where Mercer works at. Now, at first, they called it off because Lowe, played by Ray Liotta, pretty much said, hey, it's a bad plan. It's too much traffic, too much people going to be around there. It's no way that we can get that heist accomplished. Now, once the riot started, things changed because now they said, hey, we could do it now because everybody going to be distracted by the riots, so we can pull this off. So now at this point, Mercer, since he has some rep in the neighborhood, pretty much the rep of knocking people out and being sturdy. So he's going back into town looking for his son because the riots had started. Meanwhile, Law and the crew, the heist crew, they head to where Mercer's job is, and his supervisor is left there. When they come in there, they instantly shoot the supervisor, shoot him down. They wasn't supposed to, but Lowell is a cannon. And so that sparks it off. So the majority of the movie from here is about them getting all the platinum they need out of this building, and Mercer dealing with his son, finding his son. So he found his son finally. His son was out riding, and he found him, basically told him, get in the car, you could get in some trouble. So you had them, and of course, the son is frustrated. So it's just showing everything that went on around that time with the riots and how people was turning it down. So it just tried to provide a message where basically they saying We understand that you're frustrated, but why are you tearing down your own neighborhoods? This is the neighborhoods where y'all, um, get all your stuff from. So why would you be tearing it down? And the son has pretty much said, we don't have anything anyway. So Mercer pretty much wanted to be more relatable to his son. So he talked about the 1968 Watts riots and what took place there. And so it was a scene where they were driving and it showed a man Gary take advantage of a woman, and Mercer got out, helped him, beat the person up. And so the son is looking at him and it's like, this is my hero. Like, my dad really got busy out here. So he became more like, you see their bonding is becoming closer. Now back at the heist, Copeland, one of the henchmen that's doing the heist, got injured and severely injured. So he's in pain, and he had a wife that was pregnant back at home. So they just telling him like, we're gonna get you help. But Law like, no, we gotta finish this mission. Then we'll go get him help. So you see that's going to turn for the worse. So now from here, Tyrese is telling his son like, you don't need to be caught up in that. So now they get to a checkpoint where some racist, unruly cops who see Mercer and his son Antoine and pretty much harass them, pull them out of the car. Typical stuff that you see, harassing them, checking them. Antoine is pretty much realizing he ain't built like that. He starts crying. Tyrese is looking at, Tyrese Mercer is looking at the cop doing that to his son. Meanwhile, a white family drove by. They just told them go on by, but why they harassing the black family? So just showing it stuff that goes on even in present day with stuff like that. It's just showing it was going on back then and still going on now. Now, they finally get back to Mercer's job, and instantly Mercer tells Antoine, go over in there. So when he goes in, he walks in where Dennis is. And Dennis is like the younger one of Dennis and Regan are brothers, and he's like the younger one. And Law is their dad. And he's not really like, he ain't really want to do none of this, but he did anyway. And he's pretty much like, oh man, like, this is overwhelming. It's too much. So he walks in on Antoine. Antoine walks into him. And he points the gun at Antoine, like, who are you? And so he keeps Antoine at gunpoint. Meanwhile, Mercer goes and runs and see that his boss was killed. So he gets a gun. Instantly, he walking in the hallway. People take shots at him. So now this is the cat and mouse start to begin. So you eventually get Dennis takes Antoine to Law, and pretty much he said he came up there. Antoine told him he came up there with his, to visit his dad because the streets was too messy and unsafe, and his dad is part of maintenance. And at this point, Copeland is in pain and he's moaning loud, like, because he's in pain. So Law goes over and just kills Copeland to put him out of his misery. Meanwhile, you have Mercer. He's going to be left at this point to fend for himself to try to, save the day. So you have Copeland. It's a 5-man heist crew. Copeland's already dead. You have Tyus and Murphy. And then you have Lowell, Dennis, and Regan, or whatever. So, well, my bad. I said 6-man crew. Copeland was dead. So then you had those who left. So what it ended up coming down to after the cat and mouse, Ray Liotta character Lowell was about to let Antoine go, but then once Murphy came in saying, "Hey, there's somebody in here. They messed it all up." He told he called him Crenshaw. Crenshaw, come back here. And so when he came back, he pretty much, now I'm going to hold you for ransom because you lied to me about your dad. So Reagan ended up being captured by Mercer. So Mercer had Reagan, and of course, Lowell had Antoine. So after a fight to the death, Murphy ended up killing Tyus and Murphy. So now we're down to three henchmen left, which is the father and the two sons. And so eventually, the cat and mouse began, and they got off on a chase. And what Mercer did, he took a rotor off of the car to stop it from being able to run. Eventually, they get it back. Now we at the end. The van with all the platinum inside ends up flipping over. Danny got severely in. I said Danny. Dennis. Dennis got severely injured, so he's fatal. He's going to die, and so Reagan, he was left too, about to die as well. So you had Lowell sitting over top of his son, like, man, I'm sorry. I wish I could have did better. I wish I could have did more. And then he put his own son out of misery. So Lowell was cruel. Then he got killed at the end. And Mercer and Antoine end up walking off, getting in the car, and driving off. And it ended like that. So it's left with the platinum all over the street. And of course, some people might be thinking, like, man, why Mercer ain't go grab some of that platinum and, try to get a better life for him and his son. But he didn't. He just drove off. And that's how it ended. So, all this commotion didn't, where Tyrese character Mercer linking up with Lowell's crew inside of the building didn't come into form until about 58 minutes into the film, and the film is about an hour and 31 minutes, something like that. And so that it could have been written better. It could have been a better movie. It should have. I thought it should have went something like they were already at the facility and the heist people came in while they were already there. It would have it would have led to more. I guess but they wanted to show more of the riots and everything that was going on in there. But it's showing two different storylines that didn't. It's like two different movies is going on, and then you just throw them together. Like, you show how they connect in the beginning, then they both got the heist, and then you got the storyline what 1992 was going on, the riots and the racism, everything that's going on. So you got that element of it, and then you just throw this right back together like that. So it definitely could have been written better, so I could correlate more. But it was trying to show the things that was going on, but it didn't correlate with the heist. So they just smacked it together, and then this is what we got. So the writing definitely could have been better. So this is nothing to rush out and see in the theater. This is something you just wait till it's on streaming. And if you need something to watch, hey, turn it on. It was distributed through Lionsgate and Death Row Films. Out of my 4-star rating system, I give it a 1.5 out of 4 stars. Definitely could have been written better. But RIP to Ray Liotta. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Until next time.